next up, we're switching over to some Marvel news, and it's surprising, but at the same time, not. And that is that Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, now has its writer, and it's the guy that's writing, Kang's big introduction to the MCU, the writer of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Jeff Loveless, which, first of all, Jeff Loveless. That is one of the greatest names of all time. And I'm just going to leave it there because We're going to take that high road. This is not surprising in the slightest. Your movie called The Kang Dynasty is going to be written by the guy that has Kang as the main villain in a Marvel movie. Cool. I know some people be like, well, he was first introduced in Loki, but I'm like, yes, for one ridiculously long monologue scene, but in terms of like actually seeing him in action, the first time will be Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and even then, that's He Who Remains, and that's a very different version of Kang than what we'll see going forward. This makes a lot of sense to me, of start laying the groundwork in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and then move on to bigger and better things. Marvel has done this a lot in the past. Look at, I believe the writers' names were Marcus and McFeely, the guys that wrote Winter Soldier and Civil War before they ended up writing Infinity War and Endgame. Like, those guys wrote with the Russo brothers who directed those movies before moving on to bigger and better things. This makes a lot of sense to me that this guy did this, but also, if I remember correctly, he's like a TV writer, and Marvel he is a TV writer because you know what he's written for? Rick and Morty. Everyone's just going, greatest Marvel movie of all time incoming right now. And people are making jokes about it. But I firmly believe that this is why Kevin Feige did this. Rick and Morty deals a lot with multiverse shenanigans.
They do.
And for the most part, logically make it make sense, which is a hard concept to do. So if you have a dude that can write multiverse well already, you keep him on board and give him the big task ahead that is the next Avengers movie. Josh, Kang Dynasty with the greatest name of all time, Jeff Loveless.
I mean, yeah, like you said, it makes sense because like he wrote Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania. It's like, isn't it the same director coming back for Kang Dynasty as well?
No, remember it's Kang Dynasty is Destin Daniel Cretton from Shang-Chi.
Yes, of course.
So Shang-Chi is going to punch so hard, it's going to break Kang in the multiverse. And recast Iron Fist. I
am very, very interested to see, because like I really did. It was a little bit overblown, but I love that monologue scene in Loki. I am very curious, having seen Jonathan Majors on Lovecraft Country, what this man is going to be capable of, because he's also doing Creed 3, and
he's going to ruin Michael B. Jordan's day.
Like he's going to ruin his like year.
You've seen those set pictures, right?
Yeah, that man is oh boy. That is a big jacked boy. I'm very, very curious as to who the Conqueror will be. Like what he will look like, what he will do. Because yes, like I think it's very important to distinguish the difference between like He Who Remains in Loki and the Kang the force that is Kang that will be coming to Quantumania and Kang Dynasty. So to me, it makes sense, especially with the Rick and Morty tie-in. I don't know how much you watch, but like they do a very, very good job of balancing multiverse without doing time travel, which is like very key, because they're like they make a point to do that.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, in Endgame, don't they reference Rick and Morty when talking about either time travel or the multiverse or whatever else? So I'm just like, see y'all, Kevin Feige just laying the groundwork even back then with an obscure Rick and Morty reference. He's that big brained. He just knew.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to go there, but it's kind of it's been my thought process for a little bit of, I shouldn't feel this way, but Kang Dynasty to me kind of feels like the Age of Ultron of like, cool,
I hope it isn't. Oh my
Let me finish.
gosh.
It feels like the Age of Ultron in that of like, yeah, cool. Move you, Secret Wars. Like the
Okay.
Simpsons meme with the sheep, just like move you, Secret Wars. Like everyone's kind of more just like, cool, Kang Dynasty, but Secret Wars, Secret Wars. Like yeah, it's all leading up to that. Infinity War had to happen for Endgame. I get that, and that some people think Infinity War is better than Endgame. Those people are what I call wrong, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. Kang Dynasty, I'm sure will be great.
Endgame isn't as good without Endgame though, so there's that.
What?
Endgame is no wait, hold on. Switch that. Yeah, you know, I got this.
Endgame isn't as
Guys.
good without Endgame.
Endgame is, I mean, well, technically. Oh, I mean, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But I want to get excited for Kang Dynasty. I think it'd be cool. I really, really like what Destin Daniel Cretton did with Shang-Chi. So it should be exciting, but at the same time, like even when we took sidetracks with Age of Ultron, we could tell the final roadmap for Infinity War and Endgame. It was all leading to this one big battle with the stones and everything else, whereas we're going to keep harping on it. I have no idea what the direction for Marvel is right now, and I don't know if Marvel does. They're saying it publicly of like, "Oh yeah, y'all can't pick up on the roadmap." Not when you shredded the
No.
roadmap a few miles back and then tossed it off to the side of the road and you're just kind of freeballing it from here. Like I
Pretty
don't
wild.
I don't think they actually know where they're going. They're just saying it. Like
Yeah.
they're just like, well, in the comics you've got a whole bunch of different disconnected storylines that all come together at the end of it. I'm like movies are not comics though. We've said this before. I don't know. Like I think this guy could
Yeah.
be good, but at the same time, I want to be excited for Kang Dynasty. It's just hard right now because Marvel right now is the definition of a team that squeaks by into the playoffs when they don't deserve it. Whereas in years past, they were the World Series favorite type.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Especially after phase 4. Because it's a thing that's happened. There's been good moments and bad moments. I mean, as much as I was not a big fan of some of the really clunkiness of Multiverse of Madness, seeing a actual horror version of Scarlet Witch was fantastic, and I'll never forget that. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I think once we kick it off with Wakanda Forever and like kind of do this Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I think we'll have a better idea of where we're going. I say I think in the most hopeful way possible.